Hey guys, today we're talking about our emotional health. So today we're talking about our emotional health, and that is very different from our physical health and even our mental health. Emotional health is basically the emotions that we feel. It's trauma, it's how we process things in this world, it's how we determine what it means. Now, our body can actually store emotions, and that can actually cause problems. And so let's say you have a really traumatic experience happen to you, maybe a car accident. It can bring physical pain, but it also can bring a lot of emotional pain. And one of the things that possibly may come up is now you don't trust yourself driving, or you don't trust other people driving. Maybe you don't trust the other drivers on the road. That is an emotional thing. When you got in that car accident, now you had the emotion of not feeling safe in the car, but that created an anxiety or a fear because now that was a really traumatic experience. And every time you get in the car, or every time you drive, or whatever the situation is for you, you're going to experience those triggers all over again. And this is going to experience in all different areas of our lives. You can have tons of different traumas. In fact, you can even experience trauma just because somebody else experienced trauma and you really took it in, and that really traumatized you by seeing somebody else being traumatized. So there's a lot of different types of trauma. So just because you didn't have trauma doesn't mean you're not harboring trauma and it's not affecting you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the 5 steps. So the first thing is be specific. So let's use the car accident as an example. So if you have anxiety because you were in a car accident and you are feeling pressure or stress or frustration or whatever it is, you're going to imagine that. And you're also going to pick where it's at in your body. So maybe it's in your gut, you just feel nauseous, you just feel a tightening. Maybe it's in your chest, you feel a tightening. Maybe you kind of have brain fog and you just get a panic attack. But I really want you to pick where it's at in your body. The next thing is I want you to pick how physically you could remove that. So for me, I really like pulling a drain from the tub. So when I get really anxious or I have a lot of fear or something, it's kind of right in my chest and it's in my gut. And sometimes it even feels like it's just swarming around me. I cannot function. So one thing I think about is if that was quicksand all around me and I were to pull a plug from the bathtub and just watch that quicksand go down the drain, then that would release it. So that's the first step I want you to do. And I want you to do this for about 30 seconds just to give that a try. The next step I want you to do while you're watching this go down the drain, I want you to thank it and I want you to forgive it. Now the thanking it is it's been protecting you, right? That was a very scary situation. And it's trying to protect you from that again. So it's making you aware of what's the driver doing, what's happening on the road. But the reality is you're safe. Could it happen again? Absolutely. However, you are safe. Forgiving it is maybe forgiving yourself. Maybe you were the driver. Maybe forgiving somebody else who was the driver. Now, this is just to say we forgive them, that not that you're going to be on the best terms with that person, or that it's okay what happened, but it's more to say this is not going to affect my life anymore. That situation no longer has any more effect on my life. The last thing I want you to do is I want you to replace it with a positive. Now, how would it feel, or how did it feel before this accident when you got in the car and you were driving? Or you got in a car in the passenger seat and somebody else was driving. How did that feel? Well, it was fine, right? It was fine. It wasn't a big deal. You enjoyed it, listened to the radio, not a problem. So that's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about driving down the road as you're watching this wash down the drain. You're driving down the road, it's fine. You feel confident, you're alert, everything's fine. And I want you to set that intention that things are going to turn out well. The last step actually is repeat. And this may take you a little bit longer, especially if the car accident was a while ago. So if this has been years of this, it's going to take you a little bit longer to release it. Now, if it happened 2 weeks ago, it probably won't take you that long. I trust this information was helpful, and until next time,